Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome this evening. Come on in, guys, and join us for tonight's discussion. I am, of course, excited about it. Always happy to have a chance to engage with you guys and talk about various topics. So come on in, come on in. And as you come in, please do me a favor, like and share the video. Like and share the video. To like the video, you just click the thumbs up button or the heart if you were just loving on me. That's at the bottom of the page. And to share, you just click the arrow and it'll say share now, and you just share that on. And so please like and share the video as you come in. So come on in, guys. Come on in. I am excited about tonight's show. Hello to my nephew, Derek Thomas. How was your birthday? I hope you had an awesome day. But boy, you getting old. I'm just trying to tell you. You trying to catch up with your auntie. Yep, you right on my heels, just right there on my heels. But anyway, I love you to pieces and hope that you had an awesome day. So yes, guys, come on in and join the conversation tonight. We're talking about gratitude and being grateful. So come on in, and as you come in, of course, please like and share the video. Let your friends know that Juju is on the air and that we are discussing gratitude this evening. So come on in, guys. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And also, as you come in, if you would just tell me hello. Hello, Jasmine. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Where are the babies? How are they doing? And Tyler, tell Tyler hello as well. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys would please like and share the video as you come in, like and share the video. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this edition of Let's Talk. Of course, we are excited. We're going to be talking about living a life full of gratitude. And so, how do we do that? Why is it important to do that? What are some of the benefits of living a life full of gratitude? I learned a lot of things when I was researching. Hello, Andrew Page. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. It's so good to see you on tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining Let's Talk tonight. We're going to talk about living a life full of gratitude. So, are you guys having a big Thanksgiving this year? How are you all celebrating? Are you going to stay local? Are you going to be traveling? What are you eating? Are you going to eat a big meal? You eating turkey? You eating ham? What's your plans for Thanksgiving? Watching football. Hello, Miss Darlene Todd. Thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you so much for being here. It is so good, of course, as usual, to see you on here with us tonight. Thank you so much. And everyone else, as you come in, please let me know that you're here. And please do me the favor of liking and sharing the video. Alrighty then, so it is 7:00 p.m. Hello, my friend Annie Jones. How are you doing? Hello, Adri. How are you doing? Girl, I'm still laughing about you last night. You had tickled your auntie to death last night. But anyway, um, let's talk. Okay, welcome to this week's edition of Let's Talk. I am your host, Juju, and we are coming to you live tonight from my living room. Let's Talk is produced by my dear brother, Mr. Jerry Jackson, who always has my back. Not sure if Jerry will be able to join us tonight. He's traveling, but he's my producer. Thank you, Miss Annie Jones, so much. Hello, Althea. How are you doing? Um, anyway, just a reminder, this isn't intended to be a news show, but we do try to steer clear of gossip and anything that is knowingly untrue. It is my sincere hope that everyone finds this a safe place where you feel comfortable sharing your opinions. And before we get started tonight, I want to say thank you to our guests from last week, Tyler and Jasmine Hayes. Last week's show was our most viewed show to date. So thank you guys so much. I ask that you please continue to tune in with us and invite a friend. Also, I want you guys to know that in January, we will be entering into our second year of Let's Talk. Can you believe that? In January, we'll be entering into our second year. So my prayer is that we reach more and more people each week. Also, we want to make sure that we are talking about the things that are important to our audience. So therefore, if you have any topics that you would like to discuss, just let us know, me or Mr. Jackson, let us know, and we'll do our very best to make it happen. Hello, Miss Mary Holsey, Mr. Jim Snipes, and Miss Janet Thomas. Thank you guys so much for joining us. All that's being said, let's talk. Of course, we all know that Thursday is Thanksgiving, a time set aside to give thanks for all our many blessings in our lives. So tonight we want to talk about having gratitude and being thankful. My special guest for tonight is someone that is extremely special to me. Hello, Duchess. She is one of my most precious gifts and one of the people that I'm so grateful to have in my life. My sister Joyce, Duchess Thomas Vincent. Joyce is someone who focuses on living a life full of gratitude. And so tonight she's going to share with us how each of us can practice being more grateful in our lives. And I'm driving by myself. Mr. Jackson is not here tonight, so y'all be patient with me. I'm going to try to keep up with your comments and everything, but feel free to put your comments in the chat. Feel free to ask your questions, and I'm going to do my best to keep up with everything. Our icebreaker for tonight is, what are you grateful for? Guys, what are you grateful for? And while we're doing that, our icebreaker, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add Duchess in there, and you guys just let me know, what are you grateful for during this Thanksgiving season? What are you guys grateful for? What are you thankful for? Hello, Duchess. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Oh, it's good to see you. How was your event
It was
tonight?
absolutely wonderful. I'm just sitting here. You talk about gratitude. I'm just sitting here being filled with gratitude this right now. It was a wonderful event.
Well, that is so awesome. Uh, uh, for you all who don't know, Duchess is a Mary Kay consultant. So if you have any Mary Kay needs, then just reach out to Duchess Thomas and she'll be so happy to help you, assist you with those needs. She'll get you glowing. Am I glowing tonight?
You're
I
glowing.
think
You're
I'm
glowing.
glowing. She'll get you glowing. And Miss Darlene Todd says she's grateful to be alive. That is
That's a
something
big
to
one.
be grateful for. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so we're just gonna tell you a little bit of this, and she's grateful for her family and her friends. Uh, and Jasmine says, "Hey, Ma." Uh,
Hey, Jasmine. That's my baby
oh,
girl.
I told her that their show last week, has had the most views of any of our shows thus far. So yeah, so excited
I was
about that.
telling the ladies at my event tonight about last week's show.
Oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, hopefully some of them will go back and view it. We can get some more views. But anyway, about our guest tonight, she is retired from Auburn University, although she still does some work. She is a former instructor at Southern Union Community College. She is an author. She is a creator. She creates the most spectacular, beautiful jewelry. I told you she's a Mary Kay consultant. She's a wife. She's a mother of two hilarious, very sweet kids. Uh, and more importantly, she's a Christian soldier. She loves the Lord. She loves the work that she does in the church and in the community. And then finally, she is the world's best big sister ever, although she gives me a hard time. But anyway,
Do I give you a hard time?
yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know, you call me pickle booty and all that kind of good stuff.
You have to tell the whole story. Mm.
Oh, but anyway, I see our cousin Laura. Hey, Laura, how are you doing, cuz? How are you doing? So, anyway, tonight we just want to talk about gratitude. And it's more to gratitude than meets the eye. In my reading, I learned some things that I did not know. So, we're just going to talk about that tonight. What is gratitude? How do we live a life full of gratitude? So, what is gratitude and what does it mean to be grateful?
Yeah, well, gratitude is the feeling of thankfulness, the feeling of appreciation, the recognizing those good things in your life. Not just thinking that it is something that you are owed or that you are so deserving of, but it's just really stopping to appreciate what's good and sometimes even what's not so good in your life.
Okay. All righty then. And so we know what gratitude is, being grateful. And do you just have gratitude for things, for experiences, for events, for God, or whatever your higher being is?
Well, for all of the above, gratitude is when I can say thank you, when I can actively appreciate whatever is in my life, whether it be people, it can be material things, it can be more emotional things like being grateful just for peace and sanity, those things that we so often take for granted. It is being appreciative of your God or whomever it is that you serve. I'm not here to preach. I know who I believe in, but I
Mhm.
also recognize fully that everybody has a right to believe in who they want to, but still being grateful for whoever your higher power is. So gratitude is an ongoing, all day, even in the midst of some ugliness and some setbacks and some disappointments, you can still find gratitude because you can say, whatever is happening in my life, there are a couple of things things about it. I'm learning something from this experience. What is it I'm supposed to learn from this experience? We don't just go through things just willy-nilly. We're supposed to come out of every situation that we go through better. And when you're in something bad, it is even more important to be grateful and to extract the lessons from what you're going through. And then it's also an opportunity to reflect back and think about other times when you've been in similar situations or negative situations, and consider how you grew out of that, what you learned from that, how it helped you to become the very person that you are in this moment. And so you can always find gratitude and reasons to be thankful. You say, at least I survived that which I've gone through before. I learned from that situation that if I press harder this way, then I can come out the other side of this situation. We can also learn that lost track of thought just that quickly because I was looking at a comment. But, you know, even in your situations, you can just, you know, learn this is happening for a reason, and I'm going to get the best out of it, and I'm going to come out better, stronger because of it. And so you can find that positive thing. And that's what it was. And when you find that positive and can start to focus on that positive and start to shift your focus and your perspective, then you start to see even more positive things. So
okay.
Yeah.
So you find what you're looking for, huh?
Right, you really do. You really do. And the more you focus on the things that you're grateful for, the more you are aware of all of the good things in your life. Because when you're focused on negativity and you're always on what I don't have, what I can't do, how bad this is, how awful that is, that's all you're going to see. Your mind would automatically, it's just like when you get a new car, you see everybody on the road in your car because that's where your focus is.
Right.
And you like, how many people got this car? The same amount that I always had it. Your focus was just not on it.
Okay.
And so same thing. You see all these good things in your life. If you start focusing on them, you'll see them more and more because that's where your focus is.
That's where your focus is.
That's what you're aware of.
So, Darlene Todd says she agrees with you. And Andrew Page said he's grateful for you ladies and this show and my relationship with Thomas and sharing her wisdom during her college journey and the fact her being a Christian woman of God. All righty. Yeah. And Adriel says, you and Mr. Page go way back.
We go way back. Yes, Andrew has been my friend for a virtual lifetime. And I'm grateful for you as well, Andrew.
And you and Andrew went across the state of Alabama praising God in the gospel choir.
We did.
And I must tell you, back in the day, y'all was some singing that choir. No, except for that one time. But anyway. Anyway, I digress. Adriel says changing your mindset to gratitude instead of seeing everything through the eyes of lack is life changing.
It is. It is absolutely transformative. Absolutely.
Right. So that gets to my next question. Why is it important to live a life of gratitude?
Well, like Adriel was saying, it is absolutely transformative. It can change who you are. It changes your approach to life in general. It changes your reaction to people, how you approach people, how you react to people, how you present yourself to people. I went through a period where I was just totally exhausted because there was at one point when I was working 3 jobs, and probably at any given point I was working 3 jobs. So if I'm honest, I'm probably working 3 right now. But when I was working 3 jobs and had 2 small children and a husband in grad school and 2 sick and elderly parents, it was really hard. I got to a place where I was burned out. I was worn out. I felt like just a pile of ashes. I was just burnt, burning that candle at both ends. And so I had gotten to a point where, hey, Journey Huff. Journey says hello.
Hey, Journey Huff, how's my baby grateful for that gift from God. Journey Health is a gift from God, and I am so
Absolutely.
grateful for that gift.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
God gives you just what you need when you need it, and He knew we needed Huffy Puff, and so He sent it to
And
us. So
he
we're
did
grateful.
indeed. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But as I was saying, I was just so burnt out at that point. And so I had become resentful, because you just start resenting all of the pull on your life. You're like, why? Everybody is taking, and
Mm-hmm.
nothing is pouring into my life. I'm empty. I'm
Mm-hmm.
on E. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
resentful. I
Mm-hmm.
was unhappy. I was tired. And so I decided that I wanted more out of life. I don't think I want to be miserable until my kids are grown and they can get on their own and I don't have to take care of every little thing. And so I actively sought out ways to feel better in the midst
Okay.
of my storm. And
Okay.
so what I did was, one of the things that I did was I started keeping a gratitude journal. I
Okay.
started writing every day something that I was grateful for.
Okay.
And that started, like I said, it shifted my focus from being tired. It didn't stop my parents from being sick. It didn't stop me from working all 3 jobs. It didn't stop my children from being children who needed their mom. It didn't stop my husband from needing assistance. But what it did was it shifted my focus on to all that was not right or not good for me to all that was good and all that was positive. And when you change that focus, you start to see, it's like I was living life in black and white, and then I started to focus on gratitude, and my life changed to live
And
in
to
color.
color.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then I start to see even the simple things of riding
Mm-hmm.
to work one day, and I saw like this beautiful tree in full fall foliage. It was orange and yellow and brown, a little stubborn green, and it was against the backdrop of the sky, and the sky was a brilliant bright blue that just looked like it had literally been painted. But just shifting my focus helped me to see that. Otherwise I never would have slowed down, wouldn't have noticed
Mm-hmm.
it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, God is awesome. When you see that, you know He's the artist
Right.
that has put it up there. And then there are just countless other things in our life every day that we can be grateful for. So it's important to have you to change your focus, and it you makes you feel better and become more of the person that God would have us to be. But there are also some very tangible benefits
Mm-hmm.
too to walking in
Mm-hmm.
gratitude. And
Mm-hmm.
those are some things that I looked up once before when I was talking about gratitude. It, of course, when you're full of gratitude, it changes your mood, enhances your
Mm-hmm.
mood. You don't have to take a drug. You don't have to take a drink. Gratitude, it enhances your mood. It boosts your mood and helps you to feel more positive. It gives you better mental health, because
Mm-hmm.
gratitude helps balance you out. So you're not always focused on what's causing you anxiety or what's causing you stress or what's causing you depression. So
Right.
it
Right.
helps to give you better mental health when you
Okay.
are practicing gratitude. It can help you to have stronger and better relationships,
Mm-hmm.
because when I start to look at Julia, my little sister, my best friend that God gave me, her and Al, it strengthens those relationships, because when you are grateful for someone in your life, you treat them like you're grateful for them in
Right.
your life,
Right.
and so you
Right.
have those stronger relationships.
Right.
And it is great for your physical health.
Mm-hmm.
It is great for your heart. It is great for blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It is just good for you to have gratitude. So it is worthwhile for your mental health and your physical health to practice gratitude. And then ultimately it makes you, it increases your level of happiness on
Right.
happiness is kind of transient, but walking in that gratitude will help you find that happiness on a more regular
And
basis.
and I was surprised when I was looking up and they were saying, about the physical health. And it said to help you have a more robust immune
Right,
system.
right. Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
are eight
because
and
when you're depressed and anxious and stressed, that lowers your immune system immediately. So
okay.
gratitude counteracts those effects. So your
Okay.
immune system is better when you're filled with gratitude, because you're filled with more happiness and you're less of that depression and anxiety are present.
Okay. And it says fewer aches and pains.
Right, because a lot of times too, aches and
Tension.
pains are associated with
Oh,
depression. People don't
okay.
realize it, but those aches and pains are a lot of times a symptom of depression.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And stress. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So when
And,
you can counteract those, all that
and it
goes with
says
it.
you get a deeper, more restorative sleep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think of it as, matter of fact, I was looking back at a podcast where we had talked about gratitude, and I had talked about the fact that you get better sleep. But for me, it was easy to see how that was true, because I would do my gratitude entries at night. I would go
Okay.
back at night before I went to bed and say, these are the things that I'm grateful for from today. And so you
Mhm.
go to sleep filled with that gratitude and in a good sound peace of mind. And you know for yourself, if you go to sleep anxious and
Anxious,
fretting
yeah.
about something,
You
you don't have good sleep.
tossing and
Even in your
turning all
sleep,
night.
you are
Mm-hmm.
you are still stressed about that. But if
Mm-hmm.
you've shifted your mindset before you go to bed, then you can naturally have a more restful sleep.
Okay. Well, that is awesome. That right there is a reason. If we're gonna get rid of aches and pain, that's a reason for me to practice gratitude right there. Because these old bones.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I see Miss Stacy Dillard and Brother Gregory Maddox. Thank you guys for joining. Um, how does one begin to live a life full of gratitude?
Well, there are a couple of things that I would um, advise. One being, of course, what I've mentioned before. Get you a gratitude journal. Get you a beautiful one that you just like to look at. Get you
Mhm.
one that has some texture to it, one that you just like the feel of, so that it starts to trigger your different senses. And then stop and write 3 to 5 things every day, at least 3 to 5. And sometimes when you get rolling, it's hard to stop at three
Okay.
to five, because you're once that your focus gets shifted, you just see so many things you're grateful for. You just the things you've taken for granted all day, every day for your whole life, you start to really see them and appreciate. But write those things down and go beyond writing them down to going back to think about, be present in the moment. Think about what about that situation was so appealing to you. Why are you so grateful for it? What was so wonderful about that hot cup of coffee with the robust flavor and the steam coming off of it while you're sitting out on the back porch and there's a nice fall breeze and there's no audience to see you or to bother you or to judge you other than the deer and the squirrel? Get into the moment so that you not only say you're grateful, but you feel that gratitude. Because when you feel what it is you're talking about, that's when that real shift starts to take place. And you go
Okay.
from feeling gratitude to being a person filled with
Filled with
gratitude.
gratitude.
That
Okay.
gratitude becomes a part of you when you can internalize it. And like I said, just stop and really just feel it. Go back to the moment and remember it in living color, because
So it becomes a
you're
character
planting
trait.
those you're planting that in your very being. You're putting it in your
Mm-hmm.
DNA, where
Mm-hmm.
you can go back and make it that live. So that's the
Okay.
first and most important thing. Start taking note of the things you're grateful for. One.
Okay.
The second thing to live a life of gratitude is slow down for a moment.
Okay.
Pause, be still for just a moment. We are always in a hurry. We're in a rush. We got to get there. Should have, would have, could have done. Just be still for a moment. It's okay to slow down in that moment, because when you can slow down, you think about it. If you go running fast down the road, you can't see half of what's going on around you. But when you
Mm-hmm.
can slow down a minute, then you can start to see those things that you are just so grateful for. And that's how it is in life. When you slow down just a moment, let me slow my mind, because our minds can just be racing, woo, 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 slow, stop. Take a deep breath and just enjoy the moment. Pause for a moment. Enjoy that moment. Take every good thing out of that moment that you could think of. Breathe in deeply and just soak in whatever you're grateful for in that moment. So write that gratitude journal. Hey, Lynette, how you doing, my beautiful sister? But write it down, slow down and soak in all that is good in your life, and then be willing to share that gratitude with those around you, because it is infectious, just like a bad attitude is. Gratitude is infectious too. So when you're talking, and remember this, I want to challenge you to this, everybody out there in this holiday season. Everybody's going to be in a hurry, in a rush. The lines are going to be long. Somebody's going to seem totally incompetent. Don't get caught in that.
Okay.
Take your gratitude with you when you go out there. Tell that the cashier, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Thank you for helping me. It was nice meeting you, standing here in the line having this conversation. You know, share that gratitude. Tell the person that you appreciate so much in your life, tell them you appreciate them. Don't just assume they know. Tell them, girl, I appreciate you. I appreciate how you're always there for me. I love your smile. I love your energy. I love how you approach life. Share that gratitude. I thank you for all that you have poured into my life. I thank you for all that you mean to me. You're right, Jasmine. One positive interaction can change someone's entire day. I can't tell you the number of times that a positive interaction with someone changed my day. So it really can. But so share that gratitude. So those are the three main things that I would say. Start taking note of your things that you're grateful for and write it down, soak it in. Slow down just a minute to appreciate what's good in your life. Be present in the moment and see what's good in every moment, even the bad moments. And then share that gratitude. Give it out to other people, because it is very infectious.
And speaking of sharing that gratitude, Adrielle said you are her hero.
She's my baby. That's my heartbeat.
And Janet Thomas said that she is so that we're grateful for how God loves us.
Absolutely.
And is responsible for everything in our lives.
Right. Every good and perfect gift comes from God. Yes.
And hello, Lynn. Joy said hi, but I have missed you. I'm glad to see you tonight. And then also Miss Denise Griffin, thank you for joining us. Now, Joyce, you said when you first start making a journal. Now, let me an aside. Aren't you working on a gratitude journal?
I am. We are. Adrielle and I are working on a series of journals, and they're supposed to be out by now. But we're working on a gratitude journal, a prayer journal, and a shadow work journal. We are supposed to be releasing that series.
So we're gonna all be looking forward to those journals, so that we
really need to have them out so people can get them for the holidays and really focus in.
But anyway, you said that when you first started with your gratitude journal, you had a whole lot of things going on. You were stretched out and stressed and depressed and anxious and overwhelmed and feeling empty. So how do you continue to live a life, or even start, of gratitude in the midst of setbacks, hard times, disappointments, despair, disaster, distress, all of these other things that come to divert our attention or to take our energy? How did you find it hard when you first started doing the gratitude journal to come up with the things that you were grateful for in the midst of everything that you had going on?
I did find it hard. And once again, it's because that's where my focus was, on all of the things that were going on. And writing a gratitude journal wasn't going to make them stop happening. And so it's hard when you focus on what is going on and all that's negative. It can be hard to find those things to be grateful for. But it's like riding that bike. You just keep on pedaling, and then once your momentum gets going, it's easy. So it was difficult at first. I had to, it's like taking a pill. I'm gonna take this pill. They say it's gonna make me feel better. But anything you practice long enough, you perfect. So if you practice being grateful long enough, you will perfect it. You will become it. So it was difficult at first. And I did just like, okay, let me go through. Okay, that's 1, that's 2. Okay. 3, shoot, I don't know what for the day. It was. I'll be very real. It was sometimes, particularly when you're sitting in the emergency room. You remember we would be in the emergency room late at night, and I had already worked 2 jobs, and I got 2 kids with me in the emergency room. It could be difficult. But then you continue, you press forward because you're worth it. So you just press forward. And we are all human, and we are dealing with the human condition. And part of that human condition includes setbacks, stress, disappointments, troubles, and struggles. They're going to be there. But you focus on the good anyway. Like I said earlier, you think to previous situations. When I was going through a bad situation then, what did I learn from it? How did I come out of it? And you realize you survived, or you wouldn't be in this particular situation.
Right.
You came through it. You came through it stronger. You came through it more knowledgeable. Okay. So you have to continue, even in those bad situations, to keep pressing. What can I learn? How can I don't keep looking back? You still don't want to focus on all that is bad. Because even though it's bad, there's still some good things. Even on our worst days, there are some people who wish they had the life we live. And you better know it. And if you don't realize that, you need to stop and realize that. And I would even dare say, when you're going through some of your difficult times, it helps sometimes to go and volunteer and help somebody else, because then you see this person really has it. Man, I need to really be grateful. Sometimes I would be working with children when I worked with Project Uplift, some of who came from some unreal circumstances, things I couldn't have in my worst nightmare have imagined. They came from levels of poverty that I just couldn't have imagined. I thought I knew what poverty was until I saw some of those kids and the situations they were living in. I was like, God, I thank you, because it could have been me. And if I'm honest, sometimes it probably should have been me. Some of the things, based on what I've done and how I've served and who I've been. If God gave me exactly what you deserve, it would have been a lot worse for me. And so, looking and helping other people will help you put things into perspective. You realize all of those blessings that you have. So, and again, even in your rough ones, still count the positive. There are still good things going on in your life every day. There are still people helping you, loving you, supporting you every day. There are still opportunities waiting to be born every day. But you got to learn to focus, and just one step at a time. When you're going through those hard times, don't try to immediately go from the bottom to the top. Just focus on one positive step at a time. Today I did this. Next day I took one more step. One step at a time. Don't get where you can't see the forest for the trees. Just keep on walking one step at a time. One step at a time. So in the middle of your setbacks and disappointment, find whatever there is to be positive in that moment. Find something to be thankful. And it's even more critical to find those things to be thankful for in the midst of your storms.
And what was I about to say? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I'm going to say hello to my pastor, Pastor Monique Summers, and hello, Tiffany Williams, and hello, Jeffrey Thomas. Thank you guys for joining. But that was what I was going to say. When you talk about helping others, that is one of the things that I'm most grateful for. The ability to help others. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful that like you said, I got to see um, how blessed I am. And then I also am able to try to assist others and to help them through their darkest times. And um, what did we
Adriel
love?
said we love to serve.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We are, and I think that is a spirit that we got from my mom and dad. They were both people who were givers and servers. But yeah, when I'm so grateful to God for my job, because it taught me so much how blessed I am, like you said, one thing, but it also enables me. How wonderful is it to be able to get paid to do what God has told you to do? Care for the least of these.
Right.
That to me is one of my one of the biggest blessings. That one of the things I'm most grateful for that, and for the things that I have learned through working the job that I work and the career that I have. It is such a blessing. And then the other thing I would want to say, seeing Pastor Summers on remind me of her message today, and she talked about Joseph. You know, he couldn't have gotten to the palace if he had not been in the pit, or if he had not been in the prison. So,
Jerry said he
so
can't get on. Did you get the message from Jerry?
I got the message from Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. But yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so we have to be grateful. As Christians, if we trust in the Word of God, it tells us that everything is working out for our good. So even when things are looking real bad and things may not be good, but they're working out for our good.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
the other thing that I like to say is, with the children of Israel, you can't get to the promised land unless you make it through the wilderness. So,
True.
so yeah, the fact that we trust that there is a promised land on the other side of what we're going through, kind of helps us to stay focused and stay grateful that at the end of this, if nothing else, I know at the end of this, there's the promise land. If I remain faithful, if I keep moving, I keep moving. If I don't get stuck, get stopped, get depressed, and just lay down, well, I'm just gonna lay here and die. You know, you can do that, or like you say, you can press your way through and look for God in every situation,
Right.
because God doesn't leave us. That's what I believe.
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
he's in every situation. We just have to recognize
Right.
him in those situations.
And Julia, I think, and it kind of goes with what you're saying, what you'd asked me about living a life of gratitude in the midst of the setbacks and in the disappointments and the hard time. And that's why I always tell people, keep pressing, keep pressing. In the midst of your hard times, keep pressing. Because I think of the woman with the issue of blood. And she had lost, she had gone to doctors, she had sought out help, she had done everything she could. She was weak, she was broke, but she kept pressing. The crowd was thick. She weren't, because of her condition, she wasn't supposed to be out amongst
in the
people, but
crowd.
she kept pressing because she was looking for her breakthrough. And so sometimes we just have to keep pressing and refuse to be denied until we get to our breakthrough. And she knew her breakthrough was, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. I don't even have to touch God. If I could just touch something that's touching him, I can be made whole. And because she was determined and kept pressing and she believed, she was made whole instantly. After she had instantly, after she had spend all that time and all her money trying to get whole. And instantly when she touched God.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, keep pressing. If you
Pressing.
refuse to be denied, you won't be. Keep pressing.
Okay.
If you're having a bad day, keep pressing. If you refuse to be overcome by your depression, keep pressing. If you're having a hard time on your job, but you determined to be a victor, keep pressing. If you're dealing with grief and pain like so many other people, don't give up. Don't get stuck right there. Keep pressing until you get to your breakthrough. And part of that getting to that breakthrough is in the middle of while I'm pressing, I'm being grateful for every step I make toward that goal.
Everything. And you said the grief, a lot of that comes at holidays. A lot of people deal with that.
Right.
So
it does.
That's why it's so much. Jackie said, "Hey Jackie, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Hey Michael friends, how you guys doing?" But Jackie said delayed does not mean denied.
Absolutely.
And that is true. That is true. And Jackie, what I have found in my living, delayed most of the time means that God got something better than what you're pressing for, what you have in mind for you. He has something better. I just think to the recent thing with us in the basement, and trying to get that stove out, We've been trying to get that stove out, and we weren't going to do anything to the kitchen. But while we were getting that stove out, we got new cabinets in the kitchen. While we were waiting to get that stove out, we got new walls in the kitchen. And now that the kitchen is new, guess what? The stove is out. So God got something better. We were just trying to get the old stove out and get a new one in. God said, "No, we're gonna redo this kitchen. I want more than just a new stove. We're gonna redo the kitchen."
Right.
So
yeah, and if I can, another story on pressing and just continuing to see the good as you're pressing. When we first came back to Opelika, it was going to be a temporary thing for Edgar to go to grad school. At that time, he wanted to go to grad school in food science at Auburn University. Auburn University in the food science department, they just gave him the runaround. Well, you need to take these 2 classes first and then come back and apply for grad school. He took the 2 classes, came back. Okay, well, no, you need to take these classes. Took the classes, came. It just kept going on and on. And then finally, he's like, okay, I'm just done with it for the moment. And so he just got a job working over in the College of Agriculture, over in horticulture. And at a certain point, after a few years had passed, and probably it was, and not probably, definitely it was better timing because, we were steadily getting in a better situation as we worked and things start falling into place. But the people in the College of Horticulture, they wanted to promote him to advanced position. They were like, you need to get your master's degree. And he's like, well, I had tried for years to get in, but they kept telling me I would have to take this class. No, you take this class. No, we'll give you what is the word? It's like a status, not probationary, but they had another word for it. I can't even think of it. But he was telling them, and they like, oh, is that what they said? They're like, oh, okay. So the head of the agriculture department said, well, let's walk down to grad school and just talk to them. So they walked down the street to the grad school, to the head of the grad school. They talked to the dean of the grad school, and they, told them, yeah, I had tried for years and it never worked. And he's like, well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna get you in grad school today. It's not gonna be on a probationary status. It's not gonna be on dependent on this. You're gonna be a full-fledged grad student. We'll get you in there today. Keep pressing until and in an instant, what had not happened for years was done. But God knew what he was doing because that food science program shut down altogether.
Mm-hmm.
It shut down altogether. So if he had gotten in the midst of it, he would have been in trouble
Right.
because it shut down.
Okay.
But in that College of Agriculture, he was able to get that master's. He was able to go ahead and get his PhD. And he was, before he could even finish working on a PhD, he had been promoted to a job with his name on it.
Okay.
And they're like, oh yeah, let's go. You go on March so you can get this job. It was
Okay.
just that kind of quick, but it was pressing through all those years when it just didn't look like it was going to happen. But you just continue to, like you said, God has something. And when you're going through those setbacks, just remember, God has something even better.
Right.
He is preparing me. I could tell story after story, but we don't have that much time, of how God was preparing me for a situation. He was preparing me for something better by carrying me through the situation.
Right.
The lessons that I had learned, the skills I had acquired in going through the tribulation were just the skills and requirements for a job that was an advancement for me. And I could see those very things. You got to be able to write press releases, done. You have to have public relations background, done. You have to have academic background, done. All of the things that, I was going through prepared me for a promotion. And when the promotion came through, after some people went and accepted an early retirement that he set up too, I walked right into a job that was an instant promotion. Okay. So that's one of the things you have to always remember too. In the middle of my setbacks and disappointments, there is something greater that is waiting for me.
There is something
I have
greater.
To learn the lesson and keep going through, and I'm going to get to the better side.
And keep, like you said, keep believing, keep trusting, keep pressing. Joseph, keep interpreting dreams even in prison.
Right.
Because that's gonna preparing you for the palace.
Right.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Is there a difference between being gracious and having gratitude, or being thankful and having gratitude?
There is, and really, my situation today is a perfect example of that. The event that I had earlier today, I had a very gracious host who hosted the event for me. She was very gracious. She was very kind. She was very polite. She was very considerate. That is who a gracious person is. Very kind, very polite, very considerate. Made everyone feel very comfortable in her beautiful home. That's the gracious. We can all be gracious. We can all be polite. We can all be kind. We can all be courteous. And then I, in response, was filled with gratitude because my friend was so gracious. I was very thankful for what she did. I very much appreciated her efforts. I very much appreciated her time and her talents that put it together. So there is a difference in being gracious, and being filled with gratitude.
Okay. All righty. So what else do you want to share with us tonight about living a life full of gratitude?
You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to live a life of gratitude. Every day there are disappointments. Every day there are negative things. We are getting ready to go through an unprecedented period in American history. You can write it down. But gratitude should still be primary in how you live your life every day. We cannot always control what happens to us in a day, but we can absolutely control how we respond. And I would say people should deliberately choose joy. I choose to find joy in the midst of the insanity. I choose to pull joy rather than depression. I choose to find the joy rather than resort to anger and disgust, because those opportunities are there, but your choice on how you respond to them are always yours. And when you're walking in that gratitude, it makes it so much easier to always choose that joy. And believe me, the choice is yours. And when the devil is telling you you are down, you're sad, you're defeated, you're all of this, you tell me, and I choose joy in the midst
And
of
I
it.
choose joy.
And I
And the
choose
enemy
joy.
does want to steal our
He
joy because that's our
does.
strength.
He
The
came
joy
to
of the Lord
steal,
is our
kill.
strength.
Right. It is our strength. Yeah.
That what
And he wants to take that
keeps
from
us
you.
pressing.
It is.
Okay.
Because when you're hopeless and helpless, you're are more prone to stop pressing. And then you definitely won't reach your goals or reach the other side or reach your healing or reach your wholeness if you just stop
If you
pressing.
stop. Okay. So gratitude is definitely a choice that we
It
make,
is.
a conscious choice. And
Right.
it's an exercise that something that we have to practice daily.
Absolutely. It's like practicing a muscle. You know,
Mhm.
the more you do it, the more you see things to be grateful for. And oh, I'm sorry, but it becomes a part of you. And so once it becomes a part of you, then your default is always back to being grateful.
Being grateful. Being
Well, God,
grateful.
I thank you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Even though my
Mm-hmm.
parents are sick right now, God, I thank you. I still, I
Mm-hmm.
got them. Just
Mm-hmm.
even though the job is difficult right now, God, I thank you that I have the job.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
you
Right.
know, ooh, these old legs hurt today. God, I thank you that I still got legs. You know
Still
how many
have
people
legs.
in a wheelchair without legs or
Right.
legs that don't work?
That don't work.
Oh, I can
Mm-hmm.
hardly catch my
Mm-hmm.
breath. Well, thank you, God, I still breathe.
Uh,
Somebody stopped
okay.
breathing this morning. So you
Okay.
have to choose that joy. You have to choose that gratitude. Choose it every day. Just consciously think about it. And once it becomes a part of you, it is automatic. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to
And
consciously try to do it. You become it.
it just what you are. That's what
Right.
I was reading, that it becomes a character trait.
Right.
It
Absolutely.
becomes a part of your
It
character.
does.
Uh,
And Julia, I'll tell you, you say it becomes a part of your character, a character trait, and it becomes something that people can even see, even though they can't put their hands on it. But I was
mm-hmm.
at a program one day, and I was on program, and the other women on the program that they were all female pastors. Uh, but I was like, okay, that's all right. God speaks to me too. So I got up and I did my part. And that is one of my gifts. When I need to get up and speak, God has given me that gift. I can get up and do it. And so I got up and I did it. But when I was coming down, one of the pastors grabbed me by my hand and she said, I love the way you carry yourself. You carry yourself like someone who is so filled with gratitude.
Oh, okay.
Of all the
Okay.
things of the compliments that I've gotten in my life, that was the one that meant most to me still to this day. That I was so filled with gratitude that people who don't know me at all, I didn't know that I don't know her name right now, but she
Mm-hmm.
said you carry yourself like someone filled with gratitude. So you become that. You literally
Mm-hmm.
become that. It becomes your
And
characteristic.
and
It
that
becomes
that
your
right there,
default.
that
Hmm.
that is awesome, that you become a person that is filled with gratitude,
Hmm.
that you're so full with gratitude that it exudes from your pores, from
Right,
your
right. Yeah. And
everything.
one day, and I won't tell any more stories, but I have to tell this one because it does literally exude from your pores. One day I was, like I said, once you start counting your blessings, you see them everywhere. They're literally everywhere because God is blessing us constantly, exceedingly and abundantly above all we even know to ask or think. He's steadily blessing us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, but you start to see it once you make that conscious choice to live in that gratitude. And
Mm-hmm.
so one day I was walking from my office to a Burger King behind me. And when I was out walking, my mind was just filled. It was just bombarded with things I was grateful for. And I was just walking along and I was thinking to myself, oh, thank you, God. Just thank you, Lord. I mean, I wasn't saying anything. I was just walking. I was thinking that. I
Mm-hmm.
get into the
Mm-hmm.
Burger King. I got in line, and this guy who was cleaning up in there, and he appeared to be a little bit maybe intellectually slow.
Mm-hmm.
But he walked up to me. He said, "You a preacher, aren't you?" I said, "No, I'm not a preacher, but I'm just standing here thinking about how good God is." That man didn't know me, and he didn't know what it was, but he could feel it coming out of me.
Right. Right.
I was just that filled with, being grateful to God. And he didn't know me at all. He just sweeping the floor and just come up, you a preacher, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Because he could feel that
Uh-huh.
coming out of me.
To feel that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
gratitude, that love of God pouring out. But like I said, it becomes who you are. It becomes a definite part of you.
And so that's what we need to all practice on, living that life full of gratitude. And you say you have challenged us in this
In this
holiday
season,
season
yes.
to
And in the seasons coming up, baby, we're going to practice gratitude.
to practice gratitude and graciousness and
Yes.
thankfulness. Be
Yes.
because like you said, we are going through some challenging times and they may get more challenging, but if we are showing graciousness and gratitude and thankfulness and love for one another together, we can do, there's nothing we can't do if we do it
Right.
together.
Right. And we will come out better for it because all things are always working out for our good, working
For
together
our
for our
good.
good. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Duchess.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, baby
And
doll.
I just told her last week, and I didn't ask her. I said I'm gonna do a show on gratitude, and you're gonna be you're gonna be my special guest. She didn't change a word, but that's because she this is one of her favorite subjects. She
It
likes to
is.
talk
It
about
is because I
gratitude
know
and
how much it
promote
changed my
gratitude.
life, Julia. I really do. And I can't even tell you how miserable I used to be before I started to deliberately walk in gratitude.
And so that is a lesson for all of us. If we deliberately walk in gratitude, it can change our perspective, change the trajectory of our life, change how we're feeling, how we're looking at things, and so that is awesome. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too, Juju.
All righty. All right, guys. So, thank you, Duchess. We appreciate it so much. Thank all of you guys for joining me tonight. And we will be back here next week. And next week, we will be talking about shop small businesses for Christmas. And so we'll be talking about the importance of shopping small businesses and your local businesses, and we will be spotlighting local businesses. So if you have a business that you would like for us to spotlight, we'll give everybody about 5 minutes to come on, tell us what you do, what you're selling, how to contact you to get your information, because we want to support one another this Christmas. So just reach out to me and or Mr. Jackson if you want to be spotlighted. And of course, some of you who have small businesses, I will be reaching out to you if you don't reach out to me. So anyway, that's next week. On the 8th, I'll be traveling, so there won't be a show on the 8th. And then on the 15th, we're going to do Hanging of the Greens. Hanging of the Greens. What does it all mean? What do all this stuff? We do all this decoration, Christmas tree, wreaths, garland, lights. What does it all mean? Where does it come from? And what does it mean? We're going to talk about that to get us in the spirit of Christmas. All righty. And just a reminder that you can shop Juju, buy Juju for you for all of your Christmas gifts. I have gifts for every man and woman and child. And like I always say, if it don't have Juju on it, you don't want it. So get your orders in early to make sure that I have time to create it, because everything that Juju does is handcrafted. So also on this Saturday, November the 30th, Juju will be in person at the from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Iron Bowl Holiday Expo, and that will be at 1321 Second Avenue. That's the Reach Building here in Opelika, Alabama. You can come out and shop Juju as well as other local vendors. So come on out, come by, see us before for the game. We don't even want to talk about football anyway. And then also, if you need any Mary Kay, once again, Joyce Thomas Vincent is a independent Mary Kay consultant, and so contact her for all of your Mary Kay needs. Then don't forget to subscribe to the Divinely Guided Podcast YouTube channel so you can catch each new episode of the Divinely Guided Podcast. That's where you can hear more great information from Duchess and her beautiful daughter, Adrielle Vincent, and that comes out every week. You can catch those podcasts every week. So subscribe to the Divinely Guided podcast. Also, just subscribe to Juju's Dollhouse YouTube channel, and you can keep up with all of the things that Juju has going on, as well as you could catch any episodes of Let's Talk that you may have missed. Juju is a proud sponsor of Hold Up the Light. And so, all of that being said tonight, guys, thank you so much for joining. If you have not had a chance to, please like and share this video, and let your friends know that we're on having in-depth discussions about things that concern us every Sunday night at 7 o'clock p.m. I am Juju. I am that mountain moving giant slayer. I am walking by faith. I'm inspiring hope, and I am showing love all along the way. And until next time, I wish each and every one of you guys much love and many blessings. Good night.